Hey everyone, welcome to 2024 Sports Take Drive with me, Noah, my fellow host.
Collin.
Today we're joined by two special guests. Would you like to introduce yourself, ladies?
I'm Kyra. I'm Alessandra.
Today we'll be talking about the NFL draft that recently happened basically a week ago. And we have these two ladies that are going to be asking questions about it. So Collin, where in the draft would you like to start off?
I think we could just start with who we thought were some of the better teams in the draft, who we thought had the worst draft. I don't know about you, but have you seen the 49ers draft?
I haven't paid a lot of attention to like what they did, but I did see that they had a lot of very low draft grades. Yeah. So I don't find them to be very impressive.
Yeah. So by where they were projected to go to where they did go, the 49ers had the worst draft of all time. That's how bad they were reaching for every player. Which, who knows, maybe they drafted 4 superstars and we'll never know. But right. We'll know in the future. But currently, it's not looking pretty. But also, their team is set up pretty well. I don't know. This draft wasn't going to help them much. They don't really need the guys.
Right. I think that 49ers they're more of a team that needs to worry about staying healthy than getting actual players right now. Because we know that they have superstars on their team already. They just don't stay healthy. And then I think, of course, probably the other things to talk about here are the number 1 overall pick, Fernando Mendoza. Yeah. And also Jeremiah Love, who went, 3rd overall to Arizona?
3rd to the Cardinals.
So where do you want to start off?
As you guys probably know, I'm a Cardinal fan. And I struggled with this draft. We drafted we're in a win now. And if you know anything about the Cardinals, we are the furthest thing from that. I think we're one of the worst teams in the league. I saw the projection after the draft. We are ranked 32nd in the league. And we drafted a running back, which is debatably our strongest position right now. We drafted offense for our first 3 rounds, which is we drafted him, O-lineman Carson Beck, which I don't know if anyone has faith in Carson Beck to do anything outside college.
I'm not the hugest Carson Beck fan. I would say that was a very I would say you guys probably should have just waited till next year to draft the quarterback. But
I wanted us to trade for Anthony Richardson because he's up for the trade right now after they got Daniel Jones. So I think he's still got promise.
But even him, he's injury prone. So you get him, if he's not going to play you a full season. You're if you get Anthony Richardson, you're banking on the chance. You get him, he has a lot of potential. We know that. But is he actually going to play you a full season?
Or Carson Beck though. Carson Beck, he knows what it's like to play on the big stage. He's playing important games. But the other thing is, will the Cardinals play an important game with him? I'd be surprised if they did. He's not that accurate, not that athletic. There's a reason he was in the 3rd round.
Right.
And then we draft Jeremiah Love, which, yes, he is the Saquon Barkley of this draft. So I can't. I'm not mad about the Jeremiah Love pick. I just feel like we could have traded back and helped our team way more than drafting a running back.
I see what you're saying. I think I probably kind of like to add on to what you said. I think I probably would have maybe they trade that pick for more picks in the draft, and then they could have gotten multiple players maybe, potentially. But, it's also, I think, for me, it's also hard to say because I do think he's probably one of the more guaranteed lock kind of picks in the draft.
Yes.
So it's I see him, he's going to end up being a Pro Bowler, probably a multiple-time Pro Bowler. So, he's going to give you something good. He's going to give you entertainment. Could it potentially be like Larry Fitzgerald where you guys have the greatest running back ever, but he never becomes the greatest running back ever because of how crappy his team is? Who knows? But
I think him and, like I already say, Saquon Barkley, I think that scenario is very similar of the Giants never were able to build around Saquon, which is why the Giants never did anything with the best running back in the league at the time. So it's hard to think that we have any hope for the next few years.
Yeah. The Bears, though, we drafted a safety in the 1st round. Dylan Thielman from Oregon. I thought that was a great pick. We really needed a safety, especially after we got rid of both of our safeties and free agency. He's athletic. He's a white guy. He runs a 4.28, so 6 foot. I think he's 210 210-ish, 215, around that area. I love that out of his safety. Speed, strength. He's probably going to be a better strong safety than he will be a full safety. We'll see how good he is in coverage. But I love that pick. After that, we drafted wide receivers, a tight end, and I think a center, the Chicago Bears. I was very skeptical about the picks, especially at first. The wide receiver we got, he was out of LSU, which LSU is kind of a wide receiver university, especially. I put it second next to Ohio State potentially, maybe one. And I looked at him and I kind of like him. He's about 5'10". He's really, really fast. I think he runs about the same time as Thiedman, around a 4.2 something, or maybe like a 4.3. And I think he'd be an amazing slot receiver to have, considering his height. So I kind of like it, but it all depends on how good his route running is and how good he develops. So we'll see. There's a reason why he was picked in the third round.
I honestly really like the safety pick by the Bears, but other than that, the draft wasn't. I don't like it too much for them after that. But also, when you get to those second, third, fourth round guys, none of them are good.
Right, none of them you're gonna realize they're superstars immediately. So
yeah,
again, we'll see. And I just, the biggest problem I really had is that we just didn't draft a defensive player, or after Thiedman, especially an edge rusher. That's probably the biggest problem I had. If he wanted to go after some offensive positions, that's okay, but we're going to go another season where we're not pressuring the quarterback, and we're not getting off the line fast enough. We're not stopping running backs in the backfield. We're not making those line of scrimmage yards for lost plays, which is something we really needed.
I mean, I honestly think the second round pick of the center is the pick that tanks the draft in my mind for them. I think they could have got him in the third round, fourth round maybe, honestly. That guy was supposed to fall.
Yeah, I heard he was a bit of a reach.
Pretty early. He was, I'm pretty sure, projected like 97th, and he was drafted 57th, so that's a huge reach.
Yeah, I mean, we did, because of Drew Dahlman retiring so early, because why? We did unfortunately have to pick up a center in free agency and draft one in the draft. I love Drew Dahlman. He was a great center, but, you have to move on. I don't know how good this center is. He's out of, I think it was Iowa.
Yes.
I couldn't tell you much about him. I don't pay attention to linemen in Iowa. I can only hope that he's as good as Drew Dahlman or has as good of an impact, but, I'm assuming he might not even start his first year, especially because we signed a player, so we'll see with that.
He was the third best center, taken first center, and he was projected to go 99th overall.
Okay, so that's like what, the fourth round?
Yeah, and they took him in the second. So, bit of a reach, but again, we don't know anything yet, so we'll see. Now, I want to talk about who I think won this draft by a landslide. I loved their entire draft, was the New York Giants. I think we've talked about this, you don't think they'll be that good anyway. I have a lot of faith in this team. I mean, I think the best pick is Arvo Reese falling to 5 is just absurd to me. I thought he should have went second, and I was like, okay, if he doesn't go second, Cardinals are guaranteed to take him. They didn't. I wasn't surprised about Carnell Tate going to the Titans. That he just fits them better. But falling to 5 to the Giants, like that's a gold scar fine. You gotta love it.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I'm not the hugest fan. I think let me re-explain how I feel about the Giants. I don't believe in their ability to be successful in the playoffs with what they have. Of course, when you build the kind of talent that they're building around the team, especially young talent, they might make it in. They'll be maybe a 6 seed or something like that. They might scrape it in there, but I don't believe in, for one, the health of the team, and number 2, the experience of the team and the maturity of the team to be any type of threat on the NFL level, especially because I don't believe that much in Jackson Dart.
I mean, I guess the Jackson Dart, like, his stats weren't amazing last year, but also he had nothing to work with when Scadaboo got hurt.
And Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, Neighbors was out right away.
Yeah.
So, but I think Arvo Reese, I think one of their biggest problems was the O-line. And the guy from Miami that they got, the 10th pick, I thought he was going to go top 5. I wanted the Cardinals to get him, honestly. Again, he dropped way further than I thought.
Who are you talking about? Robinson Jr., the edge?
Francis. I don't even know how to say his last name.
Is that which one?
The O-line?
The big O-lineman guy?
Yeah, there were two O-linemen that got taken. I thought he was way better than Fano, but Fano went to the Browns a pick before. I think the Giants just really did work on their team this draft. For a team that already shows a lot of promise, they got even better. But now, this is a very important one. What do you think about the Rams' first-round pick?
Oh, yeah, Ty Simpson going to the Rams, 13, 15, somewhere around there, was it?
Yeah, 13.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I think it's kind of smart because when you look at the fact that Stafford's about 38 years old, you can only assume retirement is coming sooner rather than later. So when you look at the Packers, who have taken advantage when they had Brett Favre, they drafted Aaron Rodgers, had Rodgers sit 3 years, Rodgers became a Hall of Famer. Then they get Jordan Love, sit Jordan Love 3 years. Jordan Love's not a Hall of Famer, but he's still a decent quarterback in the NFL.
Yes.
And I think that's kind of what Sean McVay's trying to do. And I respect Sean McVay a lot because he's one of the best coaches in the league and one of the best drafters in the league. So I think I'm going to believe in what he's trying to do here and what he's trying to do with developing Ty Simpson. A lot of people talk about how he ran a very similar offense in Alabama to the Rams offense. So I think that adjustment will be a lot easier for him. He's learning under, obviously, MVP, probably going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback, Matthew Stafford.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think that's for sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Whatever you want to say, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
He's going to be in the Hall of Fame, whether it's first, second ballot. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. So I think that's a good person to study under. Honestly, do I think Ty Simpson was probably going to fall and they potentially could have gotten him in the second round? Yes. So I'm not going to say it was the best pick, but I do see where his mind was at, so I'm not going to hate on it too much.
That's what I'm thinking is, like, I agree with it. Like, him going to the Rams makes sense. It's just they draft him really early. Again, do the Rams really need, like, a superstar right now, though? No. Their team's good enough. They could go to the Super Bowl on their own.
Any given year.
But Ty Simpson, like, the only reason he was taken 13th overall is because there wasn't another quarterback better. If there, like, he should not have been a first-round pick in my mind. He's not that good, but he plays, I don't want to say similar to Stafford because that's a big task, but it makes sense. The pick works there.
Right.
It just,
I see the developmental process.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see what they're thinking. I just don't know how much I agree with it.
Right. And I think that's the one thing you have to that's why I'm saying the one thing you have to keep in mind, because it'd be different if this was like some Browns coach type of making this move, or like some other like Jaguars, even the Bears, if they made some type of move like that, I would think it's stupid.
Yeah.
But understanding Sean McVay and how smart he actually is as a coach, he probably has a plan that's worth trusting more than not.
Yeah.
I don't really like even. And now that I'm kind of thinking about it, when I look at the landscape of the team, I don't really see many places they really could have filled. They have a pretty good D-line. Their offense is amazing. They have good running back.
Like, yeah, their whole team is stacked.
So it's the vision's there. Now, however, did you see what he said? Ty Simpson said after the draft about Matthew Stafford's wife in the DMs.
Yes, I did.
And if you know anything about Georgia lore and Matthew Stafford's infamous wife, you know she likes her backup quarterbacks a lot.
Yes, so that's interesting.
Yeah. But other than that, ladies, do you have any more questions about the draft? Do you have anything that you're interested to talk about?
I guess, like, for someone who doesn't pay attention to NFL, how would you explain, like, the draft and how it works? And, like, from a coach perspective, like, what are you looking for the most, I guess? Like, stats-wise? I don't know.
Well, so for college this is the weird part, is stats don't mean that much, honestly, when you look at the NFL guys, because there'll be a wide receiver that's 5'10" and has 18 touchdowns, and he won't even get drafted. Like, because they look for build, I guess, is really important for the draft. Athleticism is probably the most important thing.
Probably, yeah.
And then you could go off of, like, what college they went to, too, because, like, Fernando Mendoza at Indiana, he was the first overall pick because he won the championship while having the good stats.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are guys like, I guess Ashton Genty's a great one to go off of. Last year, he was the best running back of all time in college football. He broke the all-time yards or was close to it. And he was like the 18th pick, I think.
Yeah, he was. I think he got picked
like,
higher than that.
Oh, but still, like he wasn't like Jeremiah Love's way better, and his stats don't even compare to Ashton Genty's last year.
I mean, I think basically kind of what he's trying to say. Drafting it's a very complicated process, so there isn't like necessarily one kind of algorithm that you look at, or like one. It's a combination of a lot of things. You have to look at the college they went to, the position, like kind of to put it best into perspective. There's basically two major conferences that people get drafted out of: the Big Ten and the SEC. The SEC is your South schools. Those are the schools that play your highest level of defense. So the players that have a lot of success down there are the guys that usually get picked higher. Those are your Alabama guys, your LSU guys, Auburn, Georgia type of players, right? Your Big Ten guys, that's the other conference. That SEC's, those are the guys who win all the time. Big Ten's the other they don't win as much, but those are the guys. You have your Ohio States, Michigan type of players like that. Those are the teams that like a lot of people like to look at because those are the premier programs right now. They're the guys that get all the best athletes. They develop all the best talent. So they kind of start there. Then they look at, okay, well, how productive were they? How much of it was the system that they were in versus the type of player that they are. You know what I'm saying? Because kind of like what Collin was saying, there's a lot of players. For example, Bryce Young. He was the first overall pick about 2 or 3 years ago. 47 touchdowns. I think that was the most passing touchdowns by an Alabama quarterback ever. First overall pick, lock talent. He's 5'10". Basically, he's Mickey Mouse. And he's trying to play quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. And he not only is he Mickey Mouse, but he weighs about like 190 pounds. This isn't going to work when you have 6'4", 280-pound D linemen trying to kill you every play. That's why it doesn't translate to the NFL. And there's always small little things that don't translate to the NFL. And even there was a tackle that Miami drafted this year. I think he played for Alabama. He's about like 6'7", 340 pounds. This is probably like the best lineman we've ever like seen, but his biggest problem is his mentality, how he likes to get coached. Coachability is another thing. If you can be a great athlete, but if you don't really care about what you're doing, it doesn't translate to the NFL, because the people that are successful in the NFL are the best athletes who try the hardest of the hard. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's kind of hard to say, and that's why it's so hard to draft as well, because you never really know what will or won't translate. Yeah, that's probably what I'd have to say about that. I don't know if I over-explained, but that was probably the best I could say.
Okay, but with that, we have to end here. So, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.